Suzanne's Paparazzi Jewelry, 24/7 shopping available. 160920 is the code. Show her some love, like she showed us. K&A Custom Crafts on Facebook.
Hey everybody, welcome to episode 4 of Whatever on Wednesday. I'm here with my friend and colleague, Chad Smith. He's a podcaster, he's an entrepreneur, he's a speaker, and he's an aspiring, I find him very funny, but he's aspiring. He's launching into open mic night, and he's going to start with me, so hopefully I can keep him in line. It's hard to do. Hey Chad, how are you?
I'm doing great, and just rub it in, guys. I did exactly what I was supposed to not do tonight. I actually jumped in some ice cream here, so we're going to have some sugar in my system. I'm going to be the bouncy ball that I need to be and kind of just have some fun here. So this, if you guys are traditionally I just tipped over my mic, so there's another laugh. If you're traditionally looking at a podcast and a nice Class A stuff and stuff, just this is us turned off, guys. So you're going to see completely two different sides to us. And we're going to be enjoying this time just to kind of, I don't know, like I told Joanne earlier, I think there's a moment in an episode where people want to see the vulnerability and the stories and all that stuff, but then they also want to see, okay, is this kid actually normal? So this is that day where you're going to see the completely different side of me. So like I said, I'm not going to toot this, but I have my alter ego on. So I'm not dressed up. I'm in a hat. So I'm just going to bring it like I usually bring it every day. So
the problem is that I'm typically fairly conservative, particularly on camera. So Chad's getting me way out of my shell. He's going to have me talking about things I don't typically talk about, at least not out in the open forum on camera live. So we're going to start talking about single life versus married life. Obviously, I've been single before. Chad's been married before, so we both know both sides of the coin. What's the first topic you want to throw out there, Chad? What do you want to addition to?
Boy, I think what was going on is we were just chit-chatting and texting back and forth, messenger guys. Okay, so that's technology nowadays that we have. But we were talking about, okay, how do we approach this? Because I can go this side, and like I said earlier to a producer, you could blacklist me. That's just how it's going to go, how deep you want to go with that. And then on the other side, we can get super conservative here. So the thing that was striking with me, and I sent you 3 topics, and I'm not going to discuss that third one that we were talking about. We're going to save that off the show.
I already blacklisted that one, folks. So I'm not going to let him. I already shut Chad down already on 1 or 2 topics.
But this stuff is
clean.
We're going to try to keep it clean. See, the thing with podcasting, you can edit stuff out. So like I cuss and swear and stuff or whatever, but we're live.
We can swear a little bit.
All right, cool. So I think the biggest 4 or 5 things are the differences that we're looking at in single life and married life. And obviously I'm 3 years past being married. So I'm way along in the journey and just kind of enjoying just being me now, finding yourself, all that fun stuff. So the biggest thing that I forgot, or the thing that I miss, is the bickering back and forth. And I'm going to use the term bickering. It's just that small chat. And it's not the small chat of, hey, how's it going? Whatever. It's a small chat of when you go in a store. And we're going to go on the shopping topic here.
All right, let's do it.
There's a difference between shopping at a female store and shopping at a male store. So I'm going to use this in general. So like a husband and wife going to IKEA. Okay. The female's all nice and nice and just kind of going through thinking and all that stuff. And as a married couple, there's agreement behind the scenes. And as a single person, you can be in IKEA, or like I call it at home here, and you could just watch it. It's like this guy is just his head. I call it like the deer in the headlight look. It's like, he was just forced to be there, just kind of walking. It's like, hey man, how's it going? How's it going? And just hi. And everyone's all bubbly and giggly. Like the wife's all bubbly and giggly. And then when you flip it, so like here in Appleton, or I'm in Green Bay, but like in Appleton, you have a Shield Sporting Goods across the road. Or like a Fleet Farm. Those are our big outdoor sporting goods stores, like a Bass Pro Shops, Cabela's, all that stuff. So like everyone's well behaved at home. But when we flip the script and the guys go shopping, it's like everyone's like, oh yeah, you have 5 of these at home. You don't need another one. You don't. It's just like a completely different philosophy. So I want you to answer that.
So I make it very easy. I don't go shopping with men. I just want to get what I want to get. I shut that down. You must have only been married for a short time, Chad. There's no shopping. There's no shopping. There's no agreement. The bickering just continues right from the home into the shop. So there's none of that. If I want to go shopping, it's with a girlfriend or I order online. So the shopping's done. That topic is, what about dining out? Let's go to there. What about the single couples? They sit on the same side of the booth together. Never happening in my world. That's I don't even know if that happened. Maybe when I was drunk in the early days when I'm hanging out at the bar and we're sharing a cocktail together when we were too cheap to buy two. But yeah, I'm not doing any sitting on the same side of the table. I can tell you that.
I'm actually kind of weird. I'm actually weird with that because I'm very impatient. Okay, as much as cool, calm, and collected I am, I'm very impatient in public because just like how we are in this industry, we run a tight ship. And shopping for single for me be like more drive-through, be like get in, get out. And it's not so much I want to sit there and chat. It's like you just don't want to waste a half hour of your time.
Well, yeah, and that's exactly it. Women don't get in and out of shopping. I don't care if I'm at the grocery store or I'm at IKEA or I'm at Victoria's Secrets. There's no in and out. I'm taking my time and looking at what I want to look at. And that's just a fight waiting to happen. So totally avoid it. I have enough to bicker about. I'm not bickering about my lingerie. That's on me.
Well, and it's actually kind of role reversal because it's actually funny because when we go into like not say men's, but like outdoor sporting goods store, it's like the opposite of what we do in like the at homes. It happens at the outdoor thing. And I'm gonna use this for example. So like I went shopping with my buddy at home and I was the third wheel, guys. When you're single life, you become third wheel a lot. And we come rolling in and he goes, hey man, he's like, hey bro, just jump in, we're going to Shields. I'm like, oh great. Okay. And then all of a sudden his girl in his background go, hey, we're going to At Home Center right there. I'm like, all right, cool. Brand new opening, beautiful store, nothing against it. And we turn around the corner and we're looking at like carpets and stuff and whatever it was. And I looked at my buddy. I'm like, hey, I'm not being mean. I'm like, look behind us. He's like, what? I'm like, look behind us. I'm like walking down a couple aisles. Everywhere. It was literally like if someone would have yelled free beer in the corner of the store. The guys would have dropped and just bolted because it was literally like everyone's all bubbly, giggly, whatever. And all the guys, it was almost like I wanted to just walk up, be like, hey, are you going to Shields too? Yeah. Okay. Just because it was serious. And he goes, you just need to come here and shop if you're single. I'm like, no. I'm like, look, what are you not looking at? And at the time we were looking at carpets and stuff, but it was so hilarious to sit there and sit back and watch because as a married guy or as a married couple, you don't really realize that because you're in the heat of the moment. But as people watching and it's a single side, you can just turn around and look at that and be like, this is actually quite entertaining because I don't know if you've seen it, but like Charlie Behrens or the Manitowoc Minute here has a comedy session about going to Target.
No, I haven't seen it.
Oh, you got to look at it. And the thing with him going to Target is the wives going and they shop and he said it takes forever. So we actually have a tailgate party. So like they're watching the game, they're watching, grilling out, whatever it is. It's a very laid out comedy skit. And I never really realized how funny that is in real life. Because, I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, you bring up something about the tailgating and you're single, but I think about that. I remember back in my dating days, a lot of my dating days were, I was pretty drunk. So how do you navigate how's single dating as compared to sober dating? So I know you into that world. I think that's an interesting topic. We can talk about that and how you navigate the single world sober.
Very okay. So we're gonna add in here. I'm in the upper Midwest, guys, and there's breweries around every corner. And in the heat of Wisconsin, Minnesota, all these areas, it's pretty much 2 breweries, a church, and a bar in like some of these towns. So it's like It'd be like 2 bars, church. Okay, we have a town. You know, go to the next place. Okay, 2 breweries, a church, and a bar. Okay, town number 2. And especially the area that I'm moving into, you never realized, and I'm going to get serious on how we go this, you never realize how much that's involved. And it's not so much that involved. It's like the repeated pattern of, you know, like growing up or, you know, parents or whatever it is. You guys go out the bar, you watch a game. Obviously, you're going to have stuff at the table. That's just how it is in the upper Midwest. So going sober, it either I have to openly be blunt at the beginning and say, hey, I don't drink. But then you kind of get this weird look because you're like, oh, can you at least go to the bar? And it's actually almost like you're the outlier. And the best way of saying that, like I said, we're going a little serious here. You almost just have to remove yourself from it and just kind of get to know people as a friend first before you get too serious. Because if you go on like the Tinders, the Bumbles, or whatever the apps that they have now, every one of them says, hey, I go out to the bar, I have a drink. I like the crack beers. I like to do this. And trust me, guys, I miss a lot of that, like a lot of it. It was, you have to strip yourself down to nothing, rebuild it back up and kind of like yourself going back out. I can go out publicly to the bars. I've done it multiple times in the last 6 months. Yeah, we've been open a little bit longer with lockdown, but you're looking at, if you don't get the deer in the headlight look or the shocked look from the person that's across the table, you're going to get the shocked look from the waiter, waitress, or whoever it is, and then the bartender. So a lot of times when I'm going in a lot of these larger bars, I know like they have a Busch NA, they have Old Duels, or some of these non-alcoholic side of it. I might just go strictly water. But obviously there's a lot of peer pressure because if you're in part of the group, you're drinking water or you're drinking Sprite or you're drinking this. So it's
well, what about even your inhibitions? I mean, I remember I was much more fun, much more outgoing, much more willing to, you know, be intimate when you're first starting dating. That there's an ease when you've had a couple of drinks behind you. I think that there's an uncomfortableness when you're first going out. I mean, how do you navigate that? Guys are probably more confident than women, and especially in my 20s. I mean, it's a different day now, but I'm curious about that. How do you navigate those initial moments, those initial dates when you're so used to drinking? At least I was. I mean,
oh boy. To be honest, I don't have enough experience around that yet. The confidence, I think now I got more confidence overall of like so like my confidence and stuff is more of like a business driven pattern. So like a mental, okay, even though I'm addicted to something at the time, like now it's success or, you know, challenges or whatever it is. For me, when we're looking at that is, and I'm just give you an example now, 2 days ago, a friend of mine, she's taken, but we're friends, called me out and say, hey, come run with me in this half marathon. You know, we're just talking back and forth and pretty much short talking, whatever it is. And I'll just leave the description out of it. And I'm like, all right, let's go. And all of a sudden it's like, holy cow, you're actually doing it? Yeah, I'm doing it. And in this thing of realizing is, and we're going to get to business here in entrepreneurship, if you can't mentally run a half marathon, and this is the philosophy that I've learned, or like the analogy, business is like that half marathon. So you start out all nice and cuddly, whatever, and then the pain comes, and then the cramps come, and then the long term comes, the soreness, all whatever it is. So like mentally, I'm attacking it like running a business, and I know through that 13.1 miles that I'm going to have to look at it as, if I can't manage this, how can I manage my own business? Because that same mental toughness is going to be required for your business, if not more. Like I've had, the best analogy is it's like I'm walking with sobriety. It's like I'm walking in front of an army that is being pointed back at me pretty much. And it's not nothing nice or mean or whatever. It just, that's what I've noticed, where there's so many people going against you that you're almost in front of the firing squad. So for me, I need that mental toughness to do that race, even though, yes, you know, a friend of mine's very good looking. We'll just say it that way. But like, it's going to be fun. There you go. September 14th, come on in. I got an extra spot. No, I'm looking at it this way of going, yes, it's going to be fun. Just, you know, shop talking back and forth all the way through it. But when I look at it this way, it's like, that person's not my main driver behind this race. That person's going to be the fun side of the race, not the main reason why I'm in this race.
Well, I want to give you a shout out because I know we were going to keep it lighthearted, but you just ran one of your first races in a long time and you dominated it, right? I mean, you just delved in, you jumped in, and you came out on the top of the field. So I think you certainly deserve a congratulations for that. So
yeah, and that's the thing. And like I said, we're trying to do single and funny. We're supposed to be funny, not when serious. There's a little trash talking behind that race, because it involved 3 of my best friends, or actually 4. We actually had a camera guy run the whole race, not even in the race. He was running. He would run like 400 yards, stop, squat, turn around with the camera, and we would all come through. And then he would just sprint another 500 yards, turn, squat, have us all come through, and then sprint another quarter. I mean, like and this dude's in his flats, like Adidas flats, board shoes. And I'm like, oh my God, how's it going? So like, I train 2-3 miles a day for this, on top of lifting weights, on top of playing softball. So like, there's days I triple dipped and just destroyed my body trying to do it. And we run through and whatever. And I haven't ran in 20 years with cross country. So I was more concerned with, okay, obviously I'm in shape, but secondly, how am I going to run? And then thirdly, okay, what's the routine of this again? Because it's been 20 years for me running.
Yeah, that's a long time.
And we get going, whatever. And two of my friends start, you know, I think they beat me by like 30 seconds, whatever it was. Like the gap was either 20 or 15 seconds. And he turns around to me. He goes, "You were training for this, right?" "Yeah." He goes, "I just beat you again." I'm like, "Ooh." But yeah, I'm going to be running another 5K here probably in the next 3 weeks, and then shutting it down. That's going to give me about a month and a half to train for the half marathon. And then we'll see what I feel like, if we're going to sneak another 5K in after the marathon or not, since I'm in shape. So that is my love now. I did tournament fish, and I just kind of got bored with it. I'm running now because it's more of a mental race, not like I said prior with the half marathon. For me, it's a mental thing. It's not chasing the runner's high or whatever. I'm trying to say, I was saying, if you want to do what the 1% does, you have to do what the 99% doesn't do. And a lot of people do not like to run. So that's the reason why I'm like, you know what? Let's go down this route and just start crushing some stuff.
All right. So we have some. I just want to give a shout out to some of the people who are watching. We have Randy out there, one of my buddies. Adam's on as well, and then there's Colleen, who certainly was my wing woman back in the dating days. So Colleen, if you have any questions for us, or Randy, any interesting topics you want us to delve into, and some humorous. I do have somebody actually in the studio who posed a question. So they want to know if you're dating online, and where do you go to meet women, and how does that transpire in your world?
Well, speaking of that, I'm just going to leave it at this right here. Where's the camera at? All right. Zoom in, lights out. Okay, so you guys see that number 1 down there? That is Bumble. All right. I just kind of softly went back on it again. So what does
the 1 signify? You're the number 1 catch on Bumble? Is that what the number 1 means? You're top of the heap?
That means I have to catch up here when I get done with the podcast. Oh. That's what that means.
So ladies, if you really want to talk to Chad, then all you have to do is get on Bumble. You know, he's on there. So that's a tip off. You might have 1,000 dates by the end of this episode Chad. You're going to be busy all weekend fielding questions.
Come on in, and just so you let you guys know, I rather hang with the boys than date. So just to be very patient, I'm not going to put you first for right now on the date because I like going on. I'm sorry.
Well,
go
your dates just dropped down to 2. You went from 1,000 to 2. That's yeah.
No, it's
That might be the most comical thing you said all night. You're not going to get any women with that.
I know. It's yeah, I'm a pretty passive when it comes to that. It's just I'm so used to living my own routine, and you get it because you were single for so long. You get locked in your routine. You're like, oh, girls like, hey, try this, do that, whatever. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute, I gotta go to the gym. I gotta do this, and you just get so.
Well, I'm going to give you a piece of advice. No woman wants to hear that I'm not putting you first. I can assure you of that. That's funny. We do have a question from Kathleen. Kathleen hopped on. She wants you to tell her what Bumble is. She doesn't even know. So
yeah. Bumble is okay. So there's a whole industry of dating apps. You have Match.com. Which is now an app. You have Tinder. And you have Bumble, and I guarantee I'm missing a few other ones. But so Bumble it's a dating app just like Tinder, except for on Tinder, the guys respond first. Bumble, the girls respond first. So it's actually a reverse role where it's pretty much developed like the honeybee. So like we go to the hive or whatever, and then you kind of let the honeybee in. I mean, that's the best way of saying it. And you guys direct the conversation pretty much.
So I don't know if who's single on here, but I know Randy's single on here. So you're getting a few tips, Randy, on how to navigate the dating app. So there's something beneficial for you.
Yeah, and
I have a little bit of a cold, so excuse me. I'm not my peak self, but so that's funny. So Kathleen is thanking you for the question. So Kathleen's actually a pretty funny person. Kathleen, do you have any questions for Chad? You haven't been around any single guys for a long time. If you don't know what Bumble is, obviously you're taken. But what's another interesting topic we can talk about? We spoke about, I mean, we could talk about the sex topic. I mean, that might liven things up. I mean, the shopping, I don't know how interested the folks were. We didn't get any questions on shopping. We might have to spice it up a little bit. We promised some humor. I'm gonna
ask that, and we want, like I said, we keep going serious with this, but I'm gonna ask a question here to you guys that are the comments, and we're not gonna get into the sex side of it, but when you're laying in bed and you're getting ready to roll in, and one person wants to do something, the other person doesn't, what is your guys' remark to stop that other person?
Oh, when you're married, I don't know if you have to do any remarks. I think it's pretty clear. There's no conversation about it. I think there's a certain body language. I just give the elbow. It's like back off. I don't have to talk about it. Oh. And quite frankly, I pretty much control that mood. So there's I think that a lot of women, Kathleen saying she gives the look. Well, I don't know. I can imagine Kathleen giving the look. I think
that's another topic too.
Women certainly have a way of conveying their emotions with a look, especially when you're married. How does it work in the single game? I mean, I think in the single game, there's a lot less shutting it down. You're trying to impress the other person. You're typically more all in. You're infatuated.
That's correct. When you're in a relationship, yes.
I didn't shut it down much when I was single, but I'll tell you, I shut it down when I'm married.
Actually, I'm actually reversed that. I shut it down on purpose when I was single, but I was trying to find myself. So when I was married, well, just in general, okay, so like this day and age, and I'm going to kind of laugh how I say it this way, the food topic gets brought up. Be like, oh, whatever. And it's like, no, I had tacos today. And I'm like, what? Or it's like, oh, I had seafood or whatever. So it's that the food topic gets blended into that a little bit more than
I never tried that. What do you mean by the food topic? Well, Randy said that he's been shut down, being told in several ways. I mean, Randy, you can't leave us hanging. What have you been told? What are the things? You can't leave Chad hanging on that. But what do you mean by the food topic? The person starts talking about food to divert the topic from sex?
No, it's actually this way. So like if you go out and you have Mexican tacos, margaritas, whatever it is. It depends who the person is, makes you gassy. So like you're sitting there and one guy's all ready to go, and then all of a sudden the girl's like, "No, I had tacos." I'm like, "What do you mean I had tacos?" "No, I had tacos."
God,
And it just, that occurs.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, when you're married, you don't talk about that either. Yeah,
It was what? It was wide open. I must have
Kathleen
got lucky.
saying,
Good.
yeah, Kathleen saying she just says, not today. It's not happening. I'm still waiting on Randy to give us some more details, but yeah, and all these people are attached. And Randy says there's too many fake people on dating apps, and I have to agree. I will say this, and I don't want to chase away any of our fans, but since I've become more of a public figure with podcasting, I get probably, and you probably do too, Chad. I mean, I get 100 friend requests a day. And as soon as I accept their request, all of a sudden somebody is giving me a video chat or trying to reach out to me to pick me up, to sell me something. And I certainly think that it's not quite the same as dating apps, but I certainly see a lot of fake people on there, and some of them are probably even fraudulent. I don't know about the dating apps, but I certainly have a lot of friends on the dating apps. I have somebody in studio who's on the dating apps, and it's difficult to navigate. Even the pictures. I mean, pictures. You have a picture from 20 years ago, and you have people pretending that's them today. So yeah, great.
A lot of. And I don't know what it is on the girl's perspective looking on the guys. I do have a friend that's on Tinder, and she kind of is like, "Hey, look at this profile. Look at this profile." So we'll have a lot of funny conversations with this. She did tell me straight out. She's like, "I knew you were good." She goes, "Because you read through it." And she's like, "You're normal." I'm like, "What do you mean normal?" I mean, and she screenshot and kind of just explained it. But looking at it, Bumble or Tinder, or any of these things, the pictures are actually filtered. Which means
I know on anything they are, but Randy saying that the comments that he gets, we asked him to clarify that the women say they have a headache, they're not in the mood, they don't feel good. Yeah, so the headache's always a good one.
Or I'm gonna ask Randy this one where it's like, and we're not gonna get too in depth here with it, but it's oh, good job, buddy. Next time, try harder.
Oh God. Yeah, so that's much easier for us to navigate. The faking, I don't know about guys, but for women, we don't. Yeah, our acting skills aren't as difficult to muster. We don't need to. We don't have the props we have to handle. You guys have to handle the deflation issue. We don't have that. We don't have to worry about shrinkage or blue pills or anything of that nature.
Or the cold breeze coming from the fan. What else is there?
No,
the hot, cold, the snow. I know you're in Upper New York, so the weather's pretty.
The weather's pretty cold. So now I understand. Now Randy is out in Oregon, and he said the other night he only has one fan in his upstairs apartment. Now I understand. You don't want any fans around it. It hinders your game, Randy. So I think that Chad clarified that for me. That's good to know.
And since we're on this topic, and like I said, I'm probably going to get blacklisted from this anyways. When you get older, guys and girls, so when you get older, girls, it does change. And it doesn't change for the better.
You mean women or men? For men.
Men.
Right.
And you all of a sudden hit like 35 and you're like, oh, where are you, buddy? How's it going? And you almost do like that Rodney talk where like Rodney Carrington, where he'd have a song about it where it's like, oh, there it went. So
now we know why women date younger men. I'm just in my second life, and if when I better not say that in case my husband tunes in, but I'll speak hypothetically for my hypothetical twin sister. She's just going to date 20-year-olds in her second life, so I won't even have to worry about that. So that should, but you're blowing up the spot of the older guys, Chad. Now you've offended the women by saying you're not going to put them first. You told the older guys they don't have a shot. Women aren't even going to consider them anymore. I think you're just lining yourself up to get all the dates. You're right at the midpoint. You said you were normal, although there's no such thing. But Randy set himself up here to be pretty popular. He's the only normal guy in the world, and he's the number one pick on Bumble. So there's
no normal in life. All right. girls and guys, I go, and I'm not saying guys this way, but when it comes to normal and stuff, I don't watch TV at home. I come home, I work. I'm a workaholic, guys. And so that term normal was left out long time ago. I'm a agricultural student that grew up in the city, so we'll start with that one. And I'm pretty much 50-50 in life, so I can pretty much half left-handed, half right-handed. So there's another non-normal one, and whatever else that is. So the term normal is not in my life.
Well, we have another question. What do you consider older? I guess somebody wants a clarification. What's the exact age? When do they need to cut them off? When did the problems arise? Is it 30, 40, 50? We need the scoop, since we don't have all the details.
We're answering that way. Well, wait a minute. There's actually
you can speak for your hypothetical twin brother. You don't have to call yourself out.
Yeah. We'll talk to James. That's on my shirt here. So James, if there's no regenerative therapy or whatever, regenerative gene therapy or whatever, you kind of rebuild that stuff back up, it's probably about 45.
All right, so Kathleen's saying she's looking forward to that age. So she's hoping to shut it down. I guess she's looking forward to the 45th birthday. So for her partner Mark's in trouble. I hope he's not watching this. Then he's going to be shut out. Then I guess you can just hop into a separate bedroom till he turns 45, Kathleen.
Yeah, just roll over.
You can give him the look. You'll have to perfect the look till he's 45. I can tell that's going to be a big birthday for him. You'll throw him a big party because it's really a celebration for you, it sounds like.
Oh man, yeah. Send me the gift, buddy. I'll send it back.
So Randy said he's been called normal. Now he feels like he's never been so insulted in his life. I shot him down by saying there's no normal. I don't think we don't want people who are normal, Randy. So you're gonna have to shake that up.
Finally, I'm not the one digging in the hole here.
We want people who are unique, and you're certainly unique, Randy. I think that's something to be said. I will say for the ladies that Randy's saying, I mean, not Randy, and I mean this for you too, Randy, but I was going to say you're painting yourself out to be kind of
a jerk.
No. Less than, I don't know, but I want to say that you're certainly smart, you're funny, and you're hot. I'm going to throw that out. So you're hot too, Randy. I don't want to misspeak, but ladies, Chad's kind of the full package. So
I do work very
spot tonight.
I do work very hard at it. So it's that is actually, so you guys want to know what I'm addicted to? Because I don't drink anymore, is this stuff that we're doing right now in the gym. I'm in the gym pretty much. I leave work at 2:00 in the afternoon, get at gym about 2:30. I leave at about 4:30 by the time everything's done, showered and out the door. That's 5 days a week. I do shut her down on the weekends. If I need to, I'll do some yoga. Yeah, you get so we can add that in the pot. I do yoga. But on the weekends, it's more just like a down day, because if I go 7 days straight on my body, I just feel like garbage. So I'm at the point now where my body's starting to realize I'm mid-30s and I need to have a couple off days. But yes, no, we're looking at probably hour and a quarter on the floor, moving, pushing weights, whatever it is, arm day, leg day, whatever the situation is. And then now we're throwing in 2 to 3 mile jog after it.
So we got some comments. Randy says he sees your Bumble blowing up tonight. Kathleen says your hive is buzzing and overflowing, and my special in studio guest wants to know how much you paid me to blow up your spot there. So we'll talk about that later.
She's getting Vimo a little bit later here, and it's gonna have a few Benjis in there.
So, and lady, and I'm really blowing up my own spot here, because now I'm not going to have access to you. You're going to be too popular for me. I'm gonna have to keep on the back channel here. Yeah.
And just so you know, girls, we are public here. I did have a reschedule after this, so I do have like 7:30 to 10 o'clock, 10:30, whenever. I just have to be up by 4, so we have some time here this evening.
So I don't know how I'm going to explain Bumble to my husband, because it sounds like that's the only way I'm going to be able to communicate from you from on here on out. So I'm going to have to make up an account just so I can speak to the Chad. Your phone number's not gonna be operational anymore. No more Messenger. It's all communication through Bumble. So
Yeah, and
you
I
might
was
break
gonna
some
say,
records tonight.
how much time do we have? Because the term with Tinder is you get Tinderized, and I did get Tinderized, and I'm gonna throw the girls on the spot here. I did have one girl throw a rock in her basement window to get in the house.
In your
And
house?
No, her house. And I'm not going to get too in depth of the story, but all I know is we Ubered on the opposite side of town, which I currently live in right now. And the keys were at the other side of town. And she looked at me and said straight out, "We have to throw a rock through the window." I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Grabs a rock, breaks her basement window, slides in and looked at me straight with the look and said, "Meet me in the front."
Well, I can resonate with that story, Chad, because I will tell you in my dating days, I did break a couple windows, crawled in some windows. And if any of my past, many of my exes are on here, and I'll have to tag them in this later. One can speak to the fact that I kicked in his window, broke another window, and in two separate apartments. And one person I climbed in through their window, two people, and one person I didn't even remember it. That's how much alcohol factored into my dating life. All of those windows were broken under the influence of alcohol. So, and it's funny
Yeah,
now.
and I was feeling really well that night too. And there was a little comment with the look, because obviously when you start drinking with the look, it was a Tuesday night. We were bowling, and I'm not going to get too in depth. It was a successful night.
Successful bowling or dating or both? I don't know.
We'll just
What was
do
your
the
game?
double.
300 on the lane and 300 in the bedroom. I don't know. You gotta give us a little more detail than that.
We'll just do 350 in the bedroom and about 200 on the lanes. We'll just say it that way.
All right. So success all around.
Yeah, we'll just say it that way. So like we were kind of getting in depth, and obviously back in the day I drank, so like she was bringing beers or whatever, and I looked at her, and it was like 9:30, and I'm like, okay, I know it's one of those moments where you leave because it was a Tinder date where you're like, something's about to happen tonight, and it's not that mindset. It's just you just knew something was up, like right away. You just knew.
And my understanding of Tinder is that something's going to happen every night. Isn't that the whole objective of Tinder? You're out of town, you're hooking up, there's not much. Tinder, as far as I can tell, isn't really, nobody's looking for too much of a relationship on Tinder.
No. If you want something serious, guys, get off Tinder. That's the best way of saying it. Tinder's your kind of, hey, I'm out of town at a convention, go have some fun, shut it off, take it off your phone. That's your Tinder.
In my day, that's what we called the booty call. You meet somebody at the bar, and you'd hear they'd page you. You'd get the pager at 3 a.m. or the knock on your window or somebody calling your cell phone. We didn't even have texting back then. Yeah, that's the booty call, the old proverbial booty call. That's way before any of your time. You're all young and very well. Colleen and Kathleen, they know about the booty call.
Oh, I've had plenty of booty calls. I actually had one a couple months ago where they're like, "Hey, what you doing?" And I did give okay, so with my business, obviously we have two different phone numbers, and then my real phone number is not given out on Tinder and Bumble because you have to earn that one. Not say earn it, but like you have to go through a few filters to get that one.
What do you have to do to earn your phone number, Chad? That's pretty interesting. That's a whole nother episode.
Yeah, and so I do have a local number that I did get a few. Hey, what you doing? I'm like, it's like 3 a.m, guys, and this is where I kind of kicked in the answer like the girls give her. I'm like, oh, I gotta wake up at 4. I ain't dealing with this. It's like, have a good day, roll over.
So Kathleen's saying she'd be Randy, I'd be a 120 on the lanes. All right, so he's not speaking to the 350 in the bedroom, so I guess he'd match you there. He's just
boy.
Bowling's not so good, but he must have it going on in the other.
So in basic minutes wise, it was 180 minutes. We'll just say it that way.
Oh, well, yeah, that could be a blacklist there, Chad. We're talking time frame. So yeah.
Chad, not welcome back.
Yeah, Chad's not welcome back. So. Oh gosh! So did you get a second date, or that was just
the best part is at the end she looked at me and she said, I like to come up with solutions, is the fancy way of saying it. And I'm like, no. And she did ask me the next day if you want to go out and again, and I'm like, what occurred will definitely get me blacklisted on here. We'll just say it that way. So I'm just going to leave out the details of it, but definitely it was one of those, as the best way I would explain it to my mom back in the day was, this is not the one to take home to mama.
Boy, so that sounds like fun. Randy's asking if you could send her profile to him. And Randy said, you do need to come back. He didn't really say that. I'm just teasing him. But he said, you're awesome, and they'd like to see you back on a second show. Randy wants to live vicariously through you. Randy, you got to get out there. And Randy, you need to come on and tell us some of your stories. We can't live vicariously through Chad continuously.
No, Chad needs to come back. He's awesome. Especially, wait a minute here. And he's a wrestling fan too, because I see that little logo over there, and I know exactly what that logo is, guys. So I know. Yeah. I grew up in the '90s, so I know exactly what occurred. And,
well, the Coast, I'm working for the Coast to Coast Network, and it's all about wrestling. We have some huge wrestling fans, and I do believe, I don't know if Adam's still on, but I think Adam's from Wisconsin.
So
that your neck of the woods?
It is exactly my neck of the woods, and we are live here. So I am live in Green Bay, Wisconsin, guys, and the city I'm going to be moving to next involves a guy named Dylan Postel, I think is his last name, which was Hornswoggle. So he's actually still lives in the town that I'm moving to, and he runs ACW. It's a local chain, which is his more developmental class. So wrestling is huge in Wisconsin, and it is actually driven by old WWE talent. So a lot of guys kind of come float in for signatures, kind of float out, and he actually sells out the local Menominee Arena, whatever it is. So it's like a 2,500 person thing. So like the big thing at the end of the year, he'll sell it out. Obviously with COVID and stuff, there's some stuff, but he'll bring the big boys in. He's friends with everyone, and he'll make it a good time. And yes, he is I don't even know exact height, but he is a local to Oshkosh. He graduated, I think, early 2000s, late 90s. And he's very intertwined in the community. So he does very great things in the community.
Adam's a big fan of Hornswoggle, and he's from Wisconsin as well. So we might need a connection to him. We might need to interview him on one of our wrestling shows.
I can reach out to one of my people at the building I'm at. So like,
all right, perfect.
Funny thing on the story. So we opened the doors to this building that I'm at, and you noticed just because we did some live streams from there. And the owner goes, wouldn't it be cool just to intertwine with ACW and just have like a fundraiser event? He goes like, we just go in and get my butt kicked or whatever. And I looked, he's like, I don't know who to do it or who would do it or whatever. And I'm sitting there, I'm like, okay, I wrestled 4 years in high school. Obviously it's a different wrestling. Plus I was in theater in high school. So I'm like, I looked at him straight in the face. I said, I'll do it. Let's go.
Did you do it?
No, we didn't get everything tied into it yet, but I told him straight, I'm like, if you want a fundraiser, I said, I will definitely walk up there in real tight black underwear. I don't know what they call them. And
that's our episode 2. We're going to film you in an exhibition match. Who can we get? We said we're going out to Wisconsin in January. There we go. Adam and Chad in an exhibition wrestling match. That's coming up on Wednesday.
You come on in. Welcome to it. There is definitely a couple mats in this area. There's actually so Dylan runs a class. There is a training center south here in Green Bay, about half hour. And then I saw a live event up here, and there's a guy from Kewaunee, which is just east of town here. And I know exactly who that person is too. So there's in the little 45-minute circle of where I live, if not where I'm going to be moving to, there's a lot of wrestling.
So Adam's saying he tried wrestling once, so you're in trouble. He said, we used a chair. That's not a good idea. So I don't know. I think we might have to ban chairs. We don't want any of that. I'd like to see you guys on the ropes. I love when they jump in and do the whole, whatever it is, body slam. I don't know the official title when they jump on people, but that would be a lot of fun. Adam versus Chad.
Tuck your head, buddy, because I do know how to whip people from the hips because of the 4 years of high school wrestling. So my hips are pretty fast, and I'm not talking about the other dirty side of it. They
we already covered that in the Tinder booty call segment. Now we're into the wrestling segment.
No, I do yoga, I do lift weights, and I do know how to mat wrestle is the best way of saying it. So I'm pretty active. I just don't need to flex those muscles at times.
So Randy might be challenging you now too. He's saying he used to wrestle his brother in the garage when he was younger, but he used chairs, ladders, a car, the garage, and things like that. I don't know what all that means. We need a big arena for Randy to bring a car in. He might. I'm not sure if he's planning to run you down or what the scoop is on that. But
no hardcore stuff, man. You go in the 12x12. We'll play around.
I'd love to see all you guys in tights. That's what I'm looking forward to. That's going to be a fun episode for me, ladies. That's another thing. So they're going to get to see Chad in tights. Now your games, we're going to see you in tights with that physique.
It's not that bad. I'm not going to pause on that one. I do a lot of work. I do a lot of work. I do 50 leg lifts on top of 125 sit-ups. With some weights involved with it. So it's there. There's a lot of cardio, a lot of lifting. So it's not like dynamite muscle fitness stuff, but you can definitely tell I hit the gym.
So Adam said the exhibition mat's going to be for the Coast to Coast Entertainment Network Championship. And it's all right. So it's on. We're coming.
You bring it in, buddy.
We're coming to Wisconsin in January. We're not kidding, Chad. So we already have a trip planned, so look out. I'll be the moderator.
You bring it in. You bring it in, and here's the thing.
Still do that. Carry the cards in between rounds. That's going to be my job.
You bring it in. We'll relay Dylan at the place that we're at or whatever.
Perfect.
We're going to call him. And if you do make a swing through this state, we do have some live shows that we could do because at that time will be. Let's just say we have a 3-hour gap I can use each month. So you guys come and talk trash. If you want to come in and do like old school wrestling where you put up on the TV and you guys just bicker back and forth, we have a lot of Ric Flair fans in there, so we can have some fun with it.
Well, even if we don't wrestle, we're still going to have some fun. We're still going to come out and visit. So that'll be the fun show. So let's delve into another topic. What else can we talk about? I just thought of another topic now, and now it slipped my mind. But
oh boy! So we went on single life, married life. Mindset of running a race. We did wrestling. What else is there? There's all kinds of passion stuff that I have.
What about traveling? What about going on a trip? I think there's a big difference going on vacation when you're single with somebody than going when you're married. There's a lot of tension going when you're married. I'll say that. I mean, my husband's lucky to have survived a couple trips because I would have used the old car trick that Randy uses, and I've been tempted to run him down myself. It's all fun and games and a lot of fun when you're single on a trip, but when you're married, it's not so much fun.
No. So I'm gonna laugh at this one. So typically. When I was married and driving, I always laughed at my ex at the time, and I'm not being mean in the way of laughing. It's when I drive like a mile ahead. So like I'm at this mile, I already know 2-3 miles ahead that we're gonna have to make a right turn and go from there or whatever. And for some odd reason, if I'm like floating in left field, all of a sudden I'll hear this, oh, there goes our exit. I'm like, what do you mean there goes our, oh, you have to turn there. I'm like, it's like 2 miles behind. No, you got to turn around. I'm like, you should have told me and it's usually like a mile or two after it occurs. So it's like, wait a minute here. Wait a minute.
So now we have GPS, and my husband will tell me GPS is wrong, and he's right. One trip when I had a newborn baby, his wrong turn cost us a 3-hour detour. I was hot by the time we got there. I don't get mad very often, but it takes a lot to get me mad. But with the 5-month-old baby in the car and a 3-hour detour already of a 6-hour trip, we're lucky to have survived that first couple of years of marriage.
So, as a single person traveling, guys or girls, when you're traveling as a couple, you have one bag, you have another bag, you have another bag, you have this, you have 4 different chairs. You got to have the blanket, you got to have the cooler, you got to have this. You forgot the speaker, you got to go back to this, you got to go back to the blanket, and oh crap, we got food. And then you add food and you got to get this. And then it's like, okay, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, whatever. And all of a sudden, and I used to have a Jeep Cherokee, and that thing was packed to the rim, like packed to the top. And I'm looking, I'm like, it's a 2-day trip. Oh, gotta get all this, whatever. And when I went to Colorado, it was the carry-on bag, and that was it. And the thing that I noticed, and I'm gonna get very public with this, guys, I'm good on details when it comes to podcasting, running my own business on certain things, but I really don't care about the last 10% of the details. So like, yes, I do pay my bills and budgeting, but it's very tough for me to sit down and sit still and go through like a budget and all that stuff. Like I have extra money, I get that, but like I just mentally know in my head, this day comes, you pay it, whatever. When it comes to the fine details of traveling, I don't care. Like, get me to the place first.
I think a lot of men are like that. And I think the one good thing is when you're single, you don't have to pack pajamas. That's one less thing you have to worry about. But I think a lot of men that I know just want to wing it. They don't want to worry. Whereas I'm a planner. I need the place. I need the map. We're going to Universal. I need to know what ride I'm going on first. And I have the Excel spreadsheet of the trip. I'm a little over the top when it comes to travel, but I know most men like to wing it. They like to be spontaneous. And
I know I'm more concerned with making it there alive. And then when I get there alive, especially like Colorado, there's so much to do that you could just lose your mind trying to plan it out. That I knew by the time I got there, and I did have a minor checklist. So it's like I knew I was going trout fishing, so I had to go buy some things there because I wasn't shipping a fishing pole for $50 or whatever it is. Like, I'm not going to pay that side of it. But there's a few certain events that occurred in Colorado that I guarantee I would have been single after, not like in between someone. See, I decided to continue a tradition through my friends. And my friends walked up to the edge in California looking off the cliff and, just gave a good old fashioned white, salute with their shorts. And I'm getting a look.
No, my son's trying to talk to me, but so here I'm going to say this in the chat. We're running out of time. We're getting to 10 minutes. And Randy's saying it's all fun and games till someone gets hurt. But Adam's calling you out. He said open mic night. You're want to be an aspiring comedian. He's telling you he's asking you to tell him a funny joke. So give us some of your best material. Yeah, let's see how you're going to do.
Shit. We actually went through it, and the thing that I was looking at, I got to dig through my phone here, guys, and I know I'm kind of calling it out.
I'll cover some ground, but yeah, I can go on the traveling sphere. I think that even the road trip, the women with the snacks, I got to have the cooler with, and I'm a huge calorie counter. I track everything. I got to measure everything out. I have to have pre-portioned snacks, and I think men just want to run into 7-Eleven and grab some beef jerky. So that's an entirely different aspect of the trip. A bag of peanuts and some beef jerky at the gas station on the way. Here we go when we drive through the Northeast and we go down. There's that south of the border. Do you ever see that as you're going south? It's a big. For miles you get the picture of the sombrero south of the border coming up, so that's a lot of fun. That's a big spot here.
So I'm looking at my stand-up material and I'm going, okay, I'm gonna get blacklisted because all this stuff, and I know he's calling me out here, maybe I can go working with like cartoon characters and stuff, but I'm just going through my list here, guys. So like, we're just going to get too in-depth here without getting too in-depth. So like my number one thing I want to do stand up, and we're going to go through my checklist, is imagine having Tinder back in the day when Mary and Joseph were walking around. That was one of them, and I'm not going to get too far into it. Guys walking down a certain aisle at the store that involves women stuff. Versus the guys.
That's a topic. Sending your husband to the store for tampons, or that's tough. And it's the same in reverse. I remember when we.
Yeah, it's literal.
And he would ask me to pick.
You know what? I don't care if I get blacklisted for this one. I don't even care. I don't even care about this one. You guys can blacklist me for this one because we're going to go on that topic here.
All right, that's not too bad. We can talk about feminine products and the
So
I have another topic. I never run out of time. I'd like to talk about the manscaping. Back in my day, that didn't exist. Now you got to trim everything up. That seems like an odd conversation.
we're going down that one here. So for all the stand-up material guys here, we're not going to go too far into the Mary and Joseph one because that's a live mic, do not record in the world
All right, yeah.
topic.
Let's not go there. And we only have 6 minutes left because there's another show coming up at 8.
The stand-up material that came to my mind is like, have you guys ever watched guys going down the tampon aisle? So like going down, looking at it. Okay. I just realized it's the same look when we go in our own aisle. So instead of going when you're starting to date, you go into the condom aisle and you're sitting there and all of a sudden you're just staring at the wall going, okay, what to buy, what to buy, what to buy. How's she like it? All that stuff. And then you realize when you get married, you switch to that aisle and you do that same thing again. And it's almost like you get that guy sitting there going alone, like you're talking about with the wife, and he's on the damn phone with his wife going, no, not about this one. What about that one? What about? And he turns around the corner. And seriously, or his wife's in the background yelling, we need the blue box.
Right. Not the wings. I don't want the box with the wings or the super absorbent. I just want regular, no wings.
It's funny how we like, it's like the theory of evolution on that one. It's like we guys, start at the condom aisle and then they, go through life and end up in that one. So it's almost like a retirement aisle, just boom, boom, boom. So
it's funny though. It's like with anything in life. I mean, I think that certainly I didn't like to do those things when I was younger, but now I don't care. I'll buy anything, I'll do anything, I'll say anything. I think I'm much more flexible. I'm much more comfortable and confident with myself.
It's actually kind of quite hilarious too, because you can poke around the corner and there'll be a dude in there. He's on the phone just with his wife, just getting messed up.
At least now you can text it. I mean, now you can text the questions. It used to be you have to be on the phone asking the questions out loud or having to ask the clerk.
Then you get this like clueless bro that's just getting his butt chewed out, turn around and be like, is this the right one? I'm like,
that's the worst. Well, my husband's had to return it a couple of times, so I make him go right back.
Man, that'd be like a walk of shame right there. Be like, buddy. But no, that's some of the things, and like I said, we're trying to define. I know comedy is kind of walking down that line of getting fired, getting canned, whatever. So there's certain things on the stand-up material list that I do not want to bring out in certain situation like this. That is a live, raw Richard Pryor / Eddie Murphy stuff that you can't really say on camera unless you're in person.
So let me ask this: when is the show? When's the open mic night? When are you going on? And
so I'm going to be going probably
live streamed. Then we can tune in on it and watch it from that angle.
It's probably going to be in September. So live open mic night down in Oshkosh is actually Thursday night. So I have softball until early August. And then I'm assuming they're going to keep continuing. So I'm going to think probably, my marathon's September. I'm thinking probably early October.
Okay. Do they live stream it? So then we can check it out?
I do not know. But I'm going to answer it this way. If it's the people with our crew, someone's going to have a camera and someone's going to have a live stream.
Let me ask Adam. Adam, is our trip anywhere near where Chad lives? And so that we can check him out on open mic night in person? I'm not sure where the trip is planned in Wisconsin, but if I'm going to Wisconsin, I'm finding you, Chad. If you're not too busy with your Bumble dates, you're going to have to squeeze me in person.
If you guys just remember geography class, I'm going to be, right.
Adam's saying it's close. So we're going to be right near you. So you're going to have the whole coast to coast crew in the audience.
So there's going to be, I'm going to be bringing up some topics, like I said, with the early, Tinder days and stuff. I'm just working on the list here. So I do work with a lot of characters. That's going to be the best route on that one, because there's going to be some cussing swearing I can't say on this.
Well, we're going to be heckling you, so don't worry. You'll be cussing and swearing at us. We're not going to be tame once we're in that atmosphere.
And I'm going to answer it this way, guys. My message on my profiles on Instagram are pretty positive, pretty clean. Yes. I do love myself with some old school raw comedy. So I'm definitely going to be like the Robin Williams effect, where you see him in Disney and you're like, oh, he's perfect. And then you see him live Don't
All
bring your
right,
kids.
We're not prudes. We're not on camera. We're pretty clean, but I think that we can cut it up on behind the scenes in the audience. So we're ready. We can handle it. We can handle
Yeah.
you.
It's they're gonna get raw. They're gonna get good. There's gonna be talking about a lot of sex and stuff that we're trying to talk to. But like I said, I was trying to navigate the boundaries here.
Well, Chad, I'm the only woman on the Coast to Coast crew, so I don't think you're going to have any problem. You're not going to embarrass any of those guys. I might be the only one you have to deal with. I'll bring my foam earplugs if I have to.
That's perfectly fine. And then on the back end, I'm going to put that item number 3 that we can't say live. That is going to be part of the list because I so badly want to do that. And and we're going to thank my sister on this one too, because she was the one. She lives in Houston. Obviously, I live in Green Bay, and down south, it's a little bit different down there. What we were trying to explain. And she's like, I told her, I'm like, hey, I want to do this goal, go down there and then kind of bounce into this. She's like, are you nuts?
Well, we're looking forward to it. So we're at the hour mark. We have another show starting. So it sounds like as usual, we don't have enough time together, Chad. So we're going to have to plan an episode 2. Maybe we'll do a monthly comedy night. What do you think?
I'm perfectly fine with that.
Whatever on Wednesday. You pick the Wednesday. We could do the second Wednesday of the month, the first Wednesday of the month, and we can delve into all these topics. We can really polish ourselves up. So there's
tell your producer to give me the list of exactly what I can't say.
All right. I'll talk about it with the guys.
All right, so all you guys, this is my tags down here on pretty much everything except for Bumble and Tinder. But just follow it down below. This is pretty much, type this in, you'll see a lot of my information.
And if anybody reach out to me, I can hook you up with Chad. We'll put it in the comments too. Kathleen's thanking you for a great night. Randy's looking forward to part 2. He said he might be a little too naive for the live comedy show. So I find that hard to believe, but we'll work on him. So everybody.
Me?
No, he's saying he might be a little shy, but I don't believe that.
No. Yeah, you guys fire away with when you come live, because I grew up in a whole family of comedies, and then I have a Vegas. We're going to do that topic for a different day, but we had a Vegas showman in our family here. So it's when we get rolling, guys, you kind of just let it go. And there's a lot of Robin Williams coming out of us. So
all right, perfect. We're big fans. We're big fans of Chad Smith and Robin Williams. So thanks for coming. I loved every minute of it as always. And Chris, you can play us out. Thanks, Chad.
See ya.
Thanks.